Hate is a strong word, yes, but y'all know what I mean. Why does Sega do this to Tails in the movies? And by this, I mean absolutely nothing. Yeah, sure, he had his little moment of growth in the scene in the hills in Sonic 2 when he was dancing and he was getting bullied, but he's persevered through the bullying, and then yeah, he was Tails again. Woo! But other than that, as far as I can remember, that's it. That's all we get from Tails. We don't really see him grow much more than that. And that's such a disservice to Sonic's main wingman, you know? No pun intended, because really, there can't be a pun, because he doesn't have wings. He just flies with his tails. I guess I just expected more from Tails in the movies with the way that they wrote him. And actually, in terms of his personality and his actual character, I do like this version of Tails. I think it's pretty cool. He actually feels like a kid, which Sega hasn't been doing the greatest of, which I'll get into later. But this current iteration of Tails in the movie, I like this version of him because he's a kid. He feels like he's 8. He seems like he's actually younger than everyone else around him. My main issue with him is just that he's given nothing to do. He might as well be like a background character like Tom and Maddie. And they're not background characters, it's just they seem very secondary to Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow. And yes, I get it. We have a lot of Sonic characters, and so not everybody's going to get that special screen time, but you would have thought they would have paid a little bit more respect to Tails as Sonic's right-hand man. Truth be told, would any of us really be checking for a movie that revolved around Tails? Admittedly, for me, no. For me, no. But I just feel like they could have incorporated him a little more in these movies somehow, some way, you know? Especially if they would have took pointers from like Sonic Adventure 1 when Tails learned not to lean and depend on Sonic as much. That was a good little moment for him. But we don't really see that for Tails at all. In the movies, they really did fail him in that way, but in terms of characterization, it's peak. That's like one of the best Tails I've ever seen. He's just that is how you write Tails. But in terms of the video games, no, nah, absolutely not. Let me start by saying he's not horrible in the video games as of recently. And when I say recently, I pretty much just mean Sonic Frontiers, because haven't had enough time to play Sonic Cross Worlds. But Sonic Frontiers' version of Tails was a step in the right direction. A lot of people seem very impressed with Tails' characterization and his character arc in that game. I'm gonna have to be honest with you guys and say I'm not. Mainly because it just feels like we're taking a step in the right direction, but a step that's going in a circle, because we've already gone through this with his character in Sonic Adventure 1. Tails is basically like, Sonic, I gotta do my own thing. Okay, cool. But you already did that in Sonic Adventure 1, so what do you mean, sir? I'm not saying that Sega's retconning and trying to act like they never did that in the past with his character, but it just feels like they don't really know where else to go with his character, because his character arc was so resolute and concrete and final in Sonic Adventure. And sometimes I wonder, do they regret giving him such a concrete and final character ending or character arc so early on? After that, it seems like everybody's characterization went on a downward slope, to be honest with you guys. At least that's the way I interpret it. But back to Tails. Another thing that people have been complaining about with Tails' character is pretty much just that he acts like an adult. He acts like an adult and a 8-year-old body. And you know what's really sad? I did not realize that until somebody pointed it out on Twitter. It's always Twitter. I fear for Tails. I do. Because what if Tails grows up and he becomes like Alex from MTV Downtown? I feel like that would be who Tails would become. I don't want that. He always has these little snappy and snarky one-liners. And I guess it could be funny, like a hee-hee ha-ha, he's such a cute little fox kid or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, sometimes it rubs me the wrong way, because it's like, man, where's your childlike joy? Where's your childlike innocence? He doesn't really have a whole lot of that, and that's what's, I don't know, that kind of bums me out, because you want him to be like the kid brother of the bunch, you know? He's only 2 years older than Cream, but he seems like he's just at least 5 years older. And I think the joke about his character is supposed to be like, oh yeah, he's the youngest of the bunch, but he's the one with the most sense, the most amount of reason, the most amount of wisdom. And that can be funny if you do it right, but I don't think Sega really does it right all the time. I wouldn't even really know how to operate in that situation as a writer, you know? I'm an aspiring writer, I'm trying to get better, but I don't think that that's the way that you would want to portray a really younger kid who's really smart or he's smarter than everyone else around him. I think a good example of this is like TJ from Smart Guy. TJ was supposed to be smarter than everyone in the room. However, he was still a kid. He liked to have fun. He didn't know everything all the time. He knew a lot, but he just didn't know everything. And that's kind of what brought some charm to his character. Tails is missing that charm because he's just supposed to know everything because he's so smart, so high IQ. But if you're going to go with that trope of the youngest character being the smartest in the room, please make it funny or entertaining in some way. Don't just give it to us like some, I don't know, Mad Burger. Speaking of Mad Burger, Sonic Boom actually had a pretty good version of Tails in my opinion. I don't know, I guess I just vaguely remember this episode where Tails had a crush on this girl and his inexperience came out. And so all of a sudden, he just kept going around to like Sonic, and he went to Knuckles, he went to Amy for advice because he didn't know what to do. He had a crush on this girl. And I thought that was a really cute, genuine episode, you know? It once again showed that Tails is the kid brother of the bunch. He doesn't really know as much as everybody else in some things. And that's good. I wish there was more of that in the Tails, in his character arc, in just how he interacts with the others. Tails' characterization isn't bad. It's just, I guess it's not relatable, you know, and that's fine. I feel like his character is going in a step in the right direction, and I can't really wait to see what Sega's going to do with him in the future. I think Sega as a whole isn't going in a step in the right direction, so I'm not going to complain too much. It's just something that's been on my mind, and I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. If you guys have anything you'd like to say about how you feel about Tails' characterization, just let me know in the comments. We could chop it up. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching these videos. I will be back with another one soon. Stay tuned.